The tail is good. It's even better at the end. I see my face in everything I do, Kelly.
Look at that, James. Hello, everyone. Hello, my name is Kelly Wright.
And I'm James Ernest, and we're here all week coming to you today from the place that the podcasting is from.
Yes.
So bad.
I don't know what place you're in, but I'm in this place. Are you in this place?
I'm in that place. I'm in Las Vegas again today, and last night I went to a hockey game.
Oh, have you ever been to a hockey game?
I have never been to a hockey game. I had, until yesterday, never been to a hockey game.
Now, you don't strike me as a hockey fan because you've never mentioned it. Okay.
I don't know. Fred had a ticket, and I was like, all right, I'll go. Let's see what happens.
Excellent.
And,
how did you like it?
No, I don't understand sports. Sports doesn't get me at all.
Okay. Well, I'm a hockey fan. My heart belongs to the Red Wings. However, I have also made room in it for the Kraken, Seattle's new team, which is starting up this fall. So yes, I enjoy hockey very much. It's very fast, very aggressive.
It is very fast. There doesn't seem to be much progress. I mean, the state of affairs changes so quickly, and there's not a whole lot of buildup. I guess the only thing I notice that changes from time to time is sometimes one of the teams is a man short.
Yes. They go in the box when they're mad.
When they get in a fight.
When they get in a fight, they go 5 for fighting. They go in the box.
Five.
No, five for fighting. 5 minutes for fighting. Watching them, as far as these guys are like seriously good skating backwards at 35 miles an hour, driving a puck. I think it's quite amazing.
They're not as good at skating as the referees are. Those guys just know how to get out of the way.
Oh yeah.
I love seeing them just jump up and let the hockey guys go under them or whatever. Just I'm not here.
Yeah, it's pretty
like four
awesome.
guys on the ice whose only job is to make calls and get pulverized.
That's the spirit of hockey, everybody. Welcome to Sports Talk with James and Kelly. Anyway, so you're back in Vegas already. It was just a quick jump back here, and then you headed right back, yes?
I was here
Seattle.
last week, too.
Oh, okay. I knew you were here last week. I don't know. I can't remember the days anymore. It's raining, James. It's raining. It is officially fall.
Now, I've heard of the rain.
Raining.
I haven't seen any myself in quite some time, but I understand that the rain is coming from the sky in Seattle. It's water made by clouds. Is that right?
I believe so.
We have water in the distant clouds here, I assume. I only know that they sometimes block the sun, and it's not just nighttime. It's definitely the clouds.
Yes. Rain comes from the clouds. So,
yeah.
Got a conversation starter for me, my friend?
I have. Let me poke around until I find it.
Okay, let's you find it. Anyway, fall officially started. It's my favorite time of the year. I love fall, the colors, the wind, the chill temperatures. I love it.
It is the most fallsiest time of the year. So it's time for our opening segment, Conversation Starters, sponsored this week by The Sun. It's up there. Tonight's Conversation Starter comes from a list of this or that questions. Kelly, new clothes or new phone?
Oh, new clothes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
New clothes, definitely. I could care less about having a new phone. I was forced to get an 11 because my 8 had finally died, and even when I had my 8, I was forced to get it because of my 6 dying. Had my 6 still been working, I still would have been on the 6, the iPhone 6.
I saw this question and I thought, new clothes, who dis?
Yeah. Yes, new clothes for me. Yourself? New phone?
Well, I'm standing in line all night for the iShirt 13. It's smaller, faster, and has more built-in cameras than ever before.
I hear the iShirt 13 is roomier, too, for our midlife bodies.
It's smaller and roomier. I don't know how they do it. It's bigger on the inside than the outside. Janice and the Dozens, please send us your conversation starters. And don't forget to check out Here All Week on the Patreon page. We have a Here All Week Patreon now. As of this week, basically, right?
Basically, yes. It is live. It is ready for your fundage.
So find the link wherever great links are sold.
Yes, you'll find the link on our show page. And you can click it and see if you would like to be part of the Dirty Dozens Patreon, which would be great. James, Kelly Clarkson, the singer, you familiar with her?
I believe that she has the same first name as you. I also think she was the winner of the first season of American Idol, right?
She was. That is correct. And you know what she just did?
You know why I know that? Because it was in a trivia contest that I wrote for you several weeks ago. That is absolutely the sum total of what I know about Kelly Clarkson.
Anyway, she's a singer. She's a great singer, great talent. She has now released, she just released on this past Thursday, about a week ago, a Christmas song. She doesn't care about the calendar. She's like, why not? I'll just release a Christmas song. So I haven't heard it yet, but it's called Christmas Isn't Canceled, Just You. So
I have no idea what to expect in that song.
I don't know either.
Is it a defense of Christmas against the straw man of people who want us to stop saying Merry Christmas?
I have no idea. I don't know. I think basically with cancel culture, Christmas isn't canceled, just you, James.
I've been canceled for quite some time, and I know it.
Oh, here it is. The Defiant song finds Clarkson singing about a woman who won't let her ex ruin her Christmas time, her New Year, or anything else for that matter. Call it holiday independent spirit.
Pumpkin spice boyfriend.
Also, the other thing that I'm very excited about, well, I was kind of excited about seeing a Christmas song coming out, but did you watch the Tiger King documentary when it originally
I'm afraid
came out?
that part of the pandemic completely passed me by. I did not see the Tiger King, and I could not even spitball what it is or what it's about.
Well, the Tiger King Murder, Mayhem, and Madness was about Joe Exotic and his zoos and his battle with Carol Baskin and her big animal sanctuary. And it was an 7-episode ride. I mean, you just binge it because it just got weirder and weirder and weirder. So Joe Exotic is now in jail for trying to do a hit. And now they're getting ready for another. There's a Tiger King 2 that's coming out because when they were filming, let's see, 7 episodes, and the second season was filmed in 2020 and part of 2021. So we have no idea what other characters are coming back. But if you're a big fan of the Tiger King, and it was nuts and totally worth the watch. You're like, these people are just out of their gourd. So there's a second one coming in January.
Okay.
So
I look forward to also not watching that.
Okay.
I think I might not binge them both at the same time.
Okay, great. So you're not going to do that. Great. We'll have nothing
I
then
don't
to talk
know.
about.
It's strange. That's true. We may have no more media overlap. Remember when there was only 3 channels and everyone could talk about the same shows, and now it's like,
Exactly.
well, I've never seen Tiger King, and everything you just said doesn't make me want to see it anymore.
Great. I'll keep our listeners up to date as I watch it. You can just put your head down on the desk and take a nap.
You can keep me up to date at the same time, and I can follow along with all the
it'd be
hijinks.
exciting.
Now, whatever. I would ask intelligent questions, but then I would have had to see the show.
Right. No worries. Traveling. If you're planning on still traveling, Norway has now moved into the highest risk category for U.S. Centers for Disease Control. So there you go. Moved up to level 4. Very COVID-19 very high. So keep a pin in that one to wait until numbers come on down if you're planning on traveling. And Tony Awards happened the other night. That's the awards for Broadway, and the best musical was Moulin Rouge, the musical.
I thought that already was a musical. Okay.
It was a musical movie, but now it's Moulin Rouge, the musical on
So
stage.
is the Broadway adaptation basically the same as the film?
Couldn't tell you. Have no idea. I don't know. Dozens. You tell us. What is it? You tell
What's
us
happening
what it is.
out there? We're stuck in our houses still. Aside from the hockey game, we haven't left our houses in
In
months?
quite a while, yeah.
I don't
Best
know.
play was The Inheritance. Not even familiar with that. Best revival of a play was A Soldier's Play. And best book of a musical, Jagged Little Pill by Diablo Cody. So, Jagged Little Pill, from what I understand, is a play based on Alanis Morissette's album Jagged Little Pill.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that's all the songs they use in the show. Okay. That's what I got for you. What you got for me? What else?
I
Anything
always
new?
thought the Tony Awards were just for people named Tony, but I guess anyone
Nope.
can get one.
Nope, anyone, especially Tonys. They do like to have their Tonys, but
What about
anyone,
the Oscars? So can anyone get an Oscar?
Yep, and you can be named Oscar too, but anyone can get one. Yeah, you have to be in a
that's
movie.
great.
Though. You have to-
I should go apply for one of those awards.
That's just great. Let's see. Are you also so? Okay, you do watch television. Do you watch any of the baking shows at all, like the Great British Bake Off or?
Is that a subcategory of cooking shows? Is there literally just baking shows?
Well, seriously, there's a category of baking shows. Yes, there's the Great British Bake Show or Bake Off, depending on where you are. There's things like Cupcake Wars and Bake Squad and Nailed It. Nailed It is one of my favorites where they have people come on to bake quite elaborate cakes and desserts, and they give them a very limited amount of time, and they're just awful. So it's always funny with the reveal because the catchphrase is "nailed it," and it just looks like some sort of really sad Muppet of a dessert. So,
Oh, that sounds great. No, I rarely catch cooking shows unless I'm traveling and like it's on the hotel cable or something. Like the TV that I watch is always I go and seek it out, and I don't seek out cooking shows. I'm watching like my favorite old HBO series right now, and I'm thinking about watching that new Sopranos movie next week, like maybe. But I didn't watch but one season of The Sopranos, so I don't really care that much. But no, I don't. I don't seek out. I should. I do like the cooking shows. I just don't have any in my repertoire. I think years and years ago, when we had actual cable, we watched Iron Chef.
oh, okay. Yeah, Iron Chef was always a good one. I remember growing up, my mom would watch Jacques Pepin on PBS on the public television station.
Oh,
Nice
years
little
ago,
French
yeah,
show.
we would watch Julia Child on the PBS.
Yep, Julia Child and Jacques Pepin. Just saying that name, Jacques Pepin. But
When I moved to Seattle, I met Julia Child's niece. We were both working at grandniece, I guess. We were both working at stall at the Pike Place Market.
oh wow, what were you doing at the Pike Place Market?
Working a stall. So when I just moved to town,
Yeah.
I didn't know enough about the Pike Place Market to realize that someone who had to advertise in the classifieds to get someone to work their market stall was so horrible that they couldn't get an employee through the usual channels of just asking around the people who work at the market. So
Okay.
so yes, I answered a classified and got a job with someone that no one else wanted to work for. And my job was to bring 3 or 4 large cartloads of pottery seconds up and spread them out on the concrete slabs at the very end of the market, typically out in the rain, to sell them for pennies, make zero money, and essentially hold the space so that my employers could do the same thing on the weekend, but with the good stuff.
But with it, so you were you were a second pottery monger. is what you were.
I was a slab warmer, basically.
Okay.
Like they literally had engineered the world's worst job and then tried to pay me very little for it. And they were Scientologists. And they were like, and we will pay you a percentage of what you sell. And I'm like, you're giving me your worst stuff and sending me down on the worst days and offering me a percentage. How about you pay me minimum wage instead? And they were like, yeah, I guess. I'm like, great, let's do that.
So what was minimum wage back then at that time? It was like what?
I
$4,
don't
$5,
know.
$5,
It
$6?
wasn't much. It certainly wasn't as much as I could have made across the street juggling and begging. And so that's like, it didn't last very long. But that was my introduction to Seattle and the downtown. And be careful when you answer a classified for a job that no one should have to advertise in the classifieds. There's probably a reason.
There's probably a very good reason. That's true.
Does that even exist anymore? Is classified ads still a thing, or is everything's online and at monster.com and my resume just gets me a job all by itself?
You know, there are still classified ads in the newspaper. Absolutely. If you get the print, absolutely they're there. But, you know, a lot of people do Craigslist and LinkedIn and Job Search and Monster and all that stuff. So there are still papers in print that do have classified ads, yes.
LinkedIn, for me, seems to be a service that offers Chinese game manufacturers the opportunity to inundate me with friend requests for services I will never use. That's all LinkedIn does is connect me with Chinese board game manufacturers. It's not useful.
Not your thing?
To me.
Not your thing. Not yours. Nope.
Not my thing. Not to me.
Okay. We're going to take a break with our sponsor. How about that? This episode of Here All Week is brought to you by The Sun. It's up there.
Say, Kelly, do you ever wonder about the fate of the Earth?
I suppose. I think it's getting warmer, but I don't know why.
I used to wonder myself until I learned about the sun.
The sun? What's that?
The sun is a huge fiery ball in space parked at the center of our solar system.
Oh, yes, I've seen that thing. So that's the sun, huh?
That's right. The sun was brought to you by the makers of the moon, the stars, and everything else.
Awesome. I love everything else.
Ancient cultures thought the sun was a god, but now we understand it's just an impossibly huge ball of fire that powers all life on Earth and will one day destroy us all.
But why? Have we displeased it?
Nope. In fact, the sun doesn't even know we're here.
I've heard that it powers nearly all the life on Earth.
It does. That's because the sun is a non-stop nuclear explosion, so big it would take 1.3 million Earths to fill it. That's more Earths than Jeff Bezos has millions of dollars.
That's a lot of Earths.
And if sound could travel through space, even at this distance, the sun would bury the needle at about 100 decibels.
That's almost as loud as a jet engine, right next to your head.
I know, but that's not all. Someday, billions of years from now, the sun will burn out. In the process, it will actually grow even larger and hotter, swelling until it engulfs the inner planets.
Wait, won't that kill everything on Earth?
Absolutely, but it probably won't happen for billions of years. More years than Elon Musk has millions of dollars.
But what about the recent uptick in global temperatures?
Oh, that's entirely our fault. The sun is just doing its part.
So doesn't this mean that we take care of our planet?
Nope. Should means nothing to the sun. You didn't say should. That's because I didn't write it. There should be a should in there. Let's try that line again.
So doesn't this mean that we should take care of our planet?
Nope. Should means nothing to the sun.
Right, but surely mankind should do something to save the planet for ourselves, like reducing our wasteful approach to everything?
Nah. Someday the world will end, no matter what we do. And isn't 2-ply toilet paper worth speeding that up just a little?
I guess. I do like a clean backside.
Me too.
So, once the toilet paper runs out, should we try to escape from this world, or will other worlds suffer the same fate as our own?
They will. In fact, one way or another, the universe will eventually collapse and die, and then no one will care whether you separated your trash or not.
Cool. So even if 3 billionaires escape the planet, there's really nowhere else to go.
That's right. So remember the next time you're wondering if you should have that second slice of pie, how nothing really matters.
The sun, it's up there, and it's coming for all of us.
That's right. Look for the sun, brought to you by the makers of the moon, the stars, and everything else.
It also cooks steaks.
Yeah, it does. It's true. I bet you could use a magnifying glass to cook a steak.
You could. It would take a very long, well, a very big
Do you know how to make fire from ice, Bob? Do you know how to make fire from ice? You want to die out here? Is that it? You mold it in your hands and form it into a lens. Focus the sun's rays.
A lens.
Well, I have a rack of hot trivia for you, Kelly. If you'd like
a
to
delicious
spiral
hot
into
rack.
that part of our format,
Let's whee!
To commemorate the 25th installment in the James Bond movie franchise, Here All Week is pleased to bring you a very special James Bond movie trivia quiz featuring eight lesser-known facts about the world's most famousest spy. Are you ready?
Okay, I think so.
Question 1. Based loosely on the sixth of Ian Fleming's James Bond novels, what was the name of the first James Bond film?
Wasn't that The Spy Who Loved Me?
The answer is Dr. No.
Oh, okay, wrong.
Released in 1962 by Eon Films, this action thriller set the tone for a new blockbuster film franchise starring the sophisticated Sean Connery as 007.
Sean.
As a side note, I held down the shift key and typed 007 and got close parent, ampersand, and now I want that to be my spy name. Double close parents and. It's like James Bond, but shifty. Okay, question 2. The first book in the Ian Fleming series has been adapted many times, including a live television broadcast in 1954, a farcical comedy with Peter Sellers in 1967, and the gritty franchise reboot with Daniel Craig in 2006. What's the name of the first James Bond book?
The Spy Who Loved Me?
Casino Royale. You know one answer, right? The 1954 TV adaptation of Casino Royale was broadcast live and featured an American James Bond named Jimmy and a British Felix Leiter named Clarence.
Okay.
That's what happens when you make art. People mess it up. Question 3. This character, played by actress Samantha Bond during the Pierce Brosnan years, is the secretary to M, James Bond's superior and the head of MI6. Who is the secretary to M?
That's Moneypenny.
That is Miss Moneypenny, that's right. Moneypenny was originally played by Lois Maxwell, and despite appearing in almost every film, Moneypenny didn't have a first name until 2012, where she is given the first name Eve in Skyfall, mostly to disguise the fact that she is Moneypenny. Question 4. James Bond holds what rank in the Royal Navy?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea.
Take a guess. It is The Spy Who Loved Me. Come on now. What's a guess?
That's a lieutenant. Lieutenant.
Lieutenant is wrong. It is a commander. Daniel Craig was recently granted the honorary rank of commander after playing Commander Bond in 4 of the films. Question 5.
Yeah.
A baby-faced Benicio del Toro plays a heavy in this 1989 James Bond film, the second of only 2 starring Timothy Dalton, which is set in the fictional Central American country of Isthmus. What is the name of the movie?
Did you hear the sigh I just gave? No.
Yeah, I did. I did.
don't.
This
I
is your
don't.
punishment for asking me questions about one movie I'd never seen.
Oh, yes. I don't know, James. I'm sorry.
The answer is License to Kill. Ironically, James Bond is expelled from MI6 early in the movie and technically spends most of the film without his license to kill. Question 6.
Yes.
This 2002 James Bond film, the last starring Pierce Brosnan as Bond, includes a fencing Madonna, a space laser, I can't say this, a space laser, a wasted Halle Berry, and a bad guy with diamonds in his face. What is the name of this film?
Moonraker.
Moonraker is incorrect. The answer is Die Another Day. This movie might not be the worst James Bond film, but my dude surfs on a tidal wave made by a glacier being cut in half by a space laser in some sort of the worst CGI ever. So,
you
yeah.
are kidding me.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Oh,
my
man.
friend came home from seeing that saying it's the worst James Bond movie ever. And to prove him wrong, we watched all of them up to that point, and he was kind of right. Question 7. The World Is Not Enough, 1999, was the last Bond picture with Desmond Llewellyn as Q. What British comedian assumed Q's job in this film and the next?
Mr. Bean.
He is one of Monty Python's Flying Circus. I'll get it down to that few.
Oh, Eric Idle?
The answer is John Cleese.
Okay.
Desmond Llewellyn had played Major Boothroyd, the quartermaster, or Q since 1963. After Die Another Day, Q doesn't appear again for another 10 years in 2012's Skyfall, where he is played by Ben Whishaw. Question 8.
Oh my God,
I'm sure you're going to get this one.
It's almost over. It's almost
This is
over.
the hardest one, so this is the one you're definitely going to get.
Okay.
What is the second? No, sorry. Question 8. James Bond's name was stolen from the real author of a real book about what?
Art thieves.
Birds.
Okay.
The original James Bond was an American ornithologist who wrote Birds of the West Indies, a book that Ian Fleming had while writing Casino Royale. The book appears in an insert shot in Die Another Day, but with the author's name rubbed out. The real James Bond wife told Ian Fleming that her husband saw the use of his name as a good joke, to which Fleming replied, "I can only offer you James Bond, your James Bond, unlimited use of the name Ian Fleming. Perhaps one day he will discover some particularly horrible species of bird which he would like to christen in an insulting fashion." Thanks for playing along.
Oh, man.
We'll see you at the matinee of James Bond's 53rd birthday, on James Ernest's 53rd birthday. Watching what we'll hope will be another great installment in this wacky 60-year-old film series. You should go see the new Bond movie with us. It would be so much fun to have you have no idea what's going on.
I'm not that bad as far as that goes. I don't bother with the what is it, the minutia, the details, the trivia I just don't. I don't.
The important things.
Yes, the important things, James. Thank you. As of course, I'm always willing to be humiliated with our dozens when you give me trivia. So thank you. You've really opened up a box in my head that had nothing in it. So I'm so sorry. Just remembering titles from the childhood, from my childhood of Bond movies I watched. So Moonraker was being one of them, and I don't even know the name of the one where he's down in New Orleans or Haiti for the Mardi Gras or something. Anyway, never mind.
He's in New Orleans or Haiti for the Mardi Gras or something in probably 4 different movies.
I know.
But I think
Isn't that
you're
good?
thinking of Live and Let Die.
Yes, I am. Thank you so much. Sorry about that. Sorry, folks. It was painful for me, and I know it was painful for you. I know it. James, talk to me as far as on what are you doing in Vegas? Are any tournaments? Any?
No, I don't. I don't play poker in live casinos. I did that thing over the summer with as what was ostensibly a group of friends, but I'm not going to wander into a random casino. I did just wander into a random hockey arena, but oh my God, I'm not sure that was a good idea. And no, I'm mostly staying in my house, taking care of my things and working. I have a board game design commission that's on kind of a tight schedule, and I have been It's a board game from a book, and I can't say any more than that yet because we don't have the contract signed. But in a nutshell, when an author writes a board game into a book without any idea how the board game works, it is sometimes difficult later on to interpret all of the book and turn that into an actual working board game.
Right, right. But you did that. You did that with a game, though. You did that.
I did that with TAC from
Yeah.
Patrick Rothfuss.
Yeah.
Patrick is a gamer and has the respective games to know that he should include very few rules in his book. And so that was a comparatively easy task. This one has, imagine Quidditch and Harry Potter, and Rowling put a lot of rules in that game, and it's hard to turn that into an actual working game because all those rules are in there. Luckily, this isn't quite that famous, I guess. This
Okay.
book and not yet that famous. It is the author's first work, and she's regretful that she didn't have a game in mind. And now that I am trying to piece it together, so am I. But that's been my main endeavor the last couple weeks, is just sort of focusing on that.
Nice. We got a fridge delivered. Our fridge was 20 years old. The ice maker started to go, and then the temperature in the fridge itself started to go a little wonky. So yes, I bought a new fridge, and the one we had before was a traditional freezer top fridge door bottom single door. So I got the fridge that I wanted, which is in French doors. Oh my gosh, the fridge is
You could
on
open
top.
both doors and step out into the sunlight and just enjoy the
Exactly.
coldness pouring out of both sides of the fridge.
I can't tell you how happy a friend. You know you're an adult when appliances make you happy. Okay, so the
I have
French
certain
doors
adult
are great.
appliances that make me very happy, but they're not suitable to broadcast.
So it's got the freezer on the bottom, and it's got an ice maker, which is great. But we have limitations in the appliances we can get for our place because we live in a townhome. It's a narrow townhome, so the stairway is the first thing you hit in getting it. So we could only get a
And don't they
30-inch.
also throttle your wattage in a place like that? Don't they tell you can't have a garbage disposal and a sink at the same time? You can have one but not the other, something like that.
I haven't been told that yet. No, I do have a garbage disposal and a sink all working at the same time. However,
I remember. So it wasn't the HOA in this place I was going to buy in Hawaii. They were like, you can have not a garbage disposal or a sink. You can have a garbage disposal or a hot plate.
Oh, that's what it was, yes.
In your room, but not both. And it's like, my dude, I have to both cook and dispose of garbage. I'm not sure. It's hard to choose. I guess I'll cook stuff, and then whatever I don't eat, I'll just pitch it out the window because I have a lanai, and there's lots of floors here, and there's no way to really tell where the garbage came from.
I was going to say, you just chuck it off the balcony, right? So it's a 30-inch fridge, and we had to take the baluster, the handrail, off of the hallway in order for them to get it up the stairs. And these guys were pros. They came in, they took that old one out, and they brought the new one in all in under 30 minutes. They were seriously fast about what they were doing. Good for them. So now with the baluster is what I called it. It's a banister, excuse me. Now with the...
Are you sure it's not a balustrade or perhaps a portcullis?
It could be a portcullis, but it's the handrail on the steps is what it is.
It's a chinopter. A chinopter is the same as a balustrade, but without the wicket pledge.
Banister. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway,
Banister was the Hulk, the guy who played
he was
the
the
Hulk.
Hulk, Steve Banister. Yes,
Yeah,
Steve Banister.
Stevie Banister.
Little Stevie Banister. So we've taken the handrail off, and that was a job because whoever built this place, they most likely used. Well, of course they installed it with a drill, but it was so tight into the wood, we couldn't. I mean, we had to.
Well, over time, that wood, it just gets it water seeps into the wood and it gets tighter and tighter, and it holds onto those screws. A lot of places they replace the entire apartment building, but they leave the old banisters in place because they just can't move them.
They can't do it. It was amazing, and how. So we were. I was like, do we cut it out of the drywall? Is this what we do? So we bent the bracket that the handrail is on. So we bent that. So we know we're going to have to get new brackets and stuff. But we were like, okay, we should repaint the hallway, right? Because now that we have the handrail off,
Is this a community hallway,
No,
or is it your own?
it's our own. It's our very own.
Okay.
However,
So you don't have to leave a sign on the damaged
No.
banister that says, "We needed a fridge, sorry," or something
no,
like
no,
that.
no. This is just our own hallway.
A little easel in the public space that says, "Your safety on these stairs takes a backseat to my cold food."
exactly.
Did I
No.
mention it has French doors and I can just walk right in? I trip through the ice and walk right into my fridge and gaze at the frozen chickens and so forth.
It's glorious, James. So we want to paint the hallway. However, we don't have a ladder that can adjust to work on stairs, and the ceilings get real high. So I'm telling this long story even longer to let you know that I have a painter coming on Wednesday who's going to give us a quote as far as on how to paint. And it's the paint in the hallway is the original paint from 20 years ago.
And you can paint. You could paint that thing yourself. So what you're really hiring is a ladder guy.
Yep.
You're hiring a guy with a stairs ladder because you don't
Yep.
feel like buying a stairs ladder because
Nope.
where are you going to keep it?
Exactly.
I know how this goes. I have a dripping shower, and one of these days, I mean, it drips like once a minute at this point, which is almost like it's not happening at all. But one of these days, that cartridge is going to go, and instead of learning where my water shutoff is and getting those tools that cost $50, I'm just going to pay a plumber who's got them $100 to come and change it out because
Yeah, why not?
then
Yeah.
then it'll probably only have to get done once.
Exactly. If I sit there and paint, it's going to take me, weeks because I'm just lazy that way. So if I get one guy
So
in here, it'll
when
be a
Carol
day.
and I bought our house, we painted the bedroom. Do you know how long it took us?
No,
We're still not done.
that was how long ago?
We have been in that house for 20 years, and
Wow.
there was months when it was like undone, but we were still like working on the trim and whatever. And we finally were just like, we can't stand this. We moved in. We'll finish it later. Like that's ever going to happen. Now she hates the color, and we've done remodeling in there, so there's big patches of drywall that aren't even painted anymore.
Okay.
It's just the place is a wreck, right? But it's also full of our stuff, and so. Yeah, one of these days maybe we'll move all of our stuff out of there and repaint it. But yes, it has been literally 20 years
Yep.
and we're not done with that project.
Yep, and I know my limitations and painting. I don't like painting, so I will gladly pay someone to come in and paint for me. So I'm happy about that. So yeah, paint that won't be 20 years old on the walls. Those walls are dirty and dingy, let me tell you. So they desperately need a new coat. So
There's probably a pound of dirt just stuck to those walls.
I know, and they're going to come in and they're going to be like, yeesh, and then they'll quote me something and
No good contractor is going to say that. No, that's don't worry about the price or the bid or the quote or anything like that or what kind of tools he's got or how big or windowless his van is. You got to find out if the guy says when he walks into the room, yeesh, because that's a deal breaker. He's got to be enthusiastic about taking that pound of dirt off those walls, about setting up his magical stairs ladder and painting everything exactly the color you choose.
exactly. Well, yes. So that's going on in my world. Yeesh. I'll be. Very
My
happy.
dentist does that every time I go into my dentist. And it's a different person every time because I guess I don't know. They've got notes about me in the back, but whoever opens up my mouth and looks in with the tools and the lamp on their head, the first thing they say is "yeesh," and I don't know if maybe it's because I have some interesting dental tattoos or maybe because I have mask breath. I don't know why they say it.
I don't know.
They never really give me any details. They just say, "Are you flossing?" And then I'm like, and they're like, "All right, we'll do more of that." And then they kick me out, and 3 months later, it's the same thing again.
Do they just
Yeesh.
poke? So you go in every 3 months for the deep cleaning stuff because of that, right? Because of that.
Oh,
I remember we talked about this.
I have in my life done deep cleanings.
Mm-hmm.
They are completely unpleasant. But no, normally I go in every 3 months for a regular cleaning.
Right.
Which
No,
begins
no.
with yeesh and ends
Yes.
with floss more.
Yep. So no, my schedule has gone on to the 4 times a year because of the deep cleaning I had. They're like, we need you to come in more often now. So for regular cleaning. So yeah.
But the procedure you're doing is supposed to make me better, right? So how
Yes.
come now I have to come in more? Well, it's just that we want to
Yeah.
make sure.
We just want just take it off. Yeah. You're not.
And who's your
rushing.
insurance? Nope. Okay, well, this is going to hurt a little more then. Yerk.
Oh, James, always a pleasure to talk with you. Let me tell you, James, you give me the great stories. If anybody else
put
has
this-
any stories, you can tell us.
Yes, please, listeners. Janice, if you have some stories you'd like to hear us retell on the air, we'll add flavor and lots of tangential questions and make sure
Absolutely.
your story takes twice as long as you think it should. Just send
Well-
us your notes at Here All Week.
I hope the gripping tale of my refrigerator and hallway painting lighted up your universe, lighted it. Anyway, folks, thank you again for joining us. As always, it's a pleasure to have you with us. My name is Kelly Wright.
And I'm James Ernest, and we're here all week now also on Patreon.